After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Esfrost in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the Goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death knell is ready.
What is this death knell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed it is powerful enough to break through the Goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolfort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzant as well.
Cordelia?
Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriot.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. A damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriat, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolford, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolford's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war, and I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
On my honor as king!
I'm not yet satisfied.
I await your orders.
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
He seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eridor. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge! Come and die. Yeah! That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolfort well, Eridor. That said, I've a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolfort!
For House Wolfort.
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that let my words wait. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. That one day we might build it. Together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenoa.
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful, in more ways than one.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Oh dear.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica. Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting. He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Gila?
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night, I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
It's strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you, now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. together. Forever and always.
Under this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan. Or used to be, more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Aye, now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wolfort's bannermen. No one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jax had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was. Names on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Aye, that was it. Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't break an oath if you already know. Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the clifftop. Cornered him there. The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands. If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Eredor I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend, bloody my hands with revenge. I know the truth at last. That is enough.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. When we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
It's become late. We'd best keep an eye out for bandits.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolford.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadov to be a man of reason, but now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Gila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me, and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has truly taken my lessons to heart. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
the feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
I just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school. Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. What should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Not half so aloof as I thought.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there. Are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger! Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well. And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well, things are about to get interesting.
coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the Royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolford will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Huette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolfort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolfort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolfort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the Royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolfort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolfort, Lord Serenaw, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolfort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolfort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters, separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
Lord Saranoa. Certainly.
Listen, lad. And further.
Good point. Okay.
Ah, yes? Uh-huh. I require some time to think.
It is time to cast our votes. We have three options before us. Return to the Wolfort domain, depart to the Rosellan village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I agree wholeheartedly.
You have my vote.
I have faith in you.
You won me over.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. We return to the Wolfort domain with Benedict, and inform Father that we have reclaimed the capital. I must return to the Wolfort domain, to my father's side.
Lord Simon will be most pleased to see you, I am certain.
Of course. Fulfill your duty to your father. I shall see to things in the capital.
And I shall attend to the Rosellan village. Please give Lord Simo my best.
Oh, Lord Serenoa, you are returning home? What perfect timing. I was thinking of heading to the Wolfort domain myself. Might I accompany you?
Milo, how'd you sneak into the castle?
Oh, let's just say I have my ways. You might find the companionship of such a capable woman a boon on the road.
I know not what her aims are, my lord, but I do know she will be easier to watch by your side.
Indeed. All right, Milo, you may come. But you'll be put to work for the household. Understood?
Of course, my lord.
Then this is farewell for now. King Roland, Frederica, until our reunion in the capital.